Welcome to Wagons of Steel. It's a party and everyone's invited. Today in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about little tiny engines, generators, lawnmowers, and the like, because I love them so much. Actually, I don't love them at all. I hate little engines. Now, the reason I'm making this video, the reason it occurred to me was because there was a savage windstorm a couple days ago, and you can kind of get the idea from here. Yeah, the crew is all out here to fix it. God bless them. They do a great job. This whole power pole went down. I don't want to get too close and freak anybody out or electrocute myself. There's a lot going on under this power pole. My friend Wes, who works for the local power company, was out looking at it yesterday, and he told me, you know, it doesn't get much worse than this. There's a lot going on here. So our power is still out, even though it's on for most of the rest of the people on the island. People who like little engines have brand new lawnmowers. Sometimes mowers they even pay for with payment plans. Thousands of dollars, maybe more than I ever spent on a car before. Not me. I have an assortment of weird, old, little engine lawnmowers. This one's a classic example. This one actually isn't mine. It was loaned to me by a friend who specializes in building Franken-mowers, I call them. Lawnmowers with weird, wrong engines. This says John Deere on it, or at least it used to. It's been cut to modify to fit this 18 horsepower engine, which I guess is a lot for a lawnmower. Here's another lawnmower from Johnny. That's not dangerous. And even though the wheel's falling off of it and there's no safety protection of any kind, this mower never fails to start for me. Here's another Franken mower. Even if you don't know anything about mowers, doesn't that look like just a gigantic motor for this mower? It is. This one always fires up too, unless you need to mow the lawn, in which case it needs a belt, it needs a new tank of gas, it needs battery. The final reason I never use this mower anymore, now that I use the faux deer, is this came off. Well, this puts it in gear, you know, forward, reverse. It's got 4 forward gears, but now it's only got reverse. Well, you know, I don't care about the best mowed lawn, but you know, even for me, life is too short to mow the lawn in reverse. I'm sorry. Alright, here is one of my least favorite engines on earth. The opposite of the 426 Max Wedge. You can't even hear yourself think. God, I have to get around the corner from the house to even talk about that thing. I should name it some horrible name. I got that mower years ago. I traded a car for it. Or not mower, it's the generator. It's an awesome generator, really. It makes a lot of power. It'll power up a whole house. It starts with a button, not a pull, which means the battery has to be tip-top, and it never is. Yesterday I just gave up and went and spent $100 on a new battery for it, which needed to be done. You know, buying batteries is a freaking thankless expense. You know, it's like paying for teeth cleaning or something. You got to do it, but yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. And it's expensive, but you got to have it for that. You know, I've had some real interesting times with that freaking generator. First off, I mean, it goes without saying, but I will say it, and I'll say it again before the end of this video. It's so loud. Oh, I mean, even the super high quality, I mean, that is a high quality one, but like if you buy yourself a Honda generator for $1 bazillion, that's like their maximum duty huge generator, those are loud too. Like a big generator which can power up a lot of stuff, it's going to be loud, and your only way of dealing with it is to put more mufflers on it or isolate it in a shed, or, you know, some things that you know, if I had to use it every month, I probably would do those things, but since it's, you know, very rarely in use, I don't, and so there it is. If you have huge power needs at the racetrack or something like that, usually what you do is you get two little Honda guys, which are quiet, and you get a special, there's a little wiring harness, which is basically just a Y, so it connects two as one. Superpowers combine, and then you have the power of a big generator from two small quiet guys. But we went, I remember one year we were racing at Spokane, and we didn't do the test and tune day on Thursday. We pulled in on Friday morning, so there's a whole bunch of people who'd already been there at the track and set up their little camping areas and their RVs and stuff. And in front of one of these RVs was one of the giant Hondas, the loud ones, and it was covered with nasty notes, or at least one nasty note, and a lot of toilet paper. So somebody toilet papered somebody's generator, and you can see why. Just the noise of those things. And this is from a crew of people who save all their money and put aside vacation time to listen to loud race engines. Nobody at the racetrack can stand the sound of a generator. And so it's, you know, really good racetracks, like one I went to and used to go to, or I went to a couple times in Phoenix, has power for everybody. They've got a power grid, so you pull up to your pit area and there's a plug-in, so there's no generator noise at all. And you don't even notice it until somebody brings it up and it's like, oh yeah, I don't have like a pounding headache. And, you know, we're all non-drinkers now on Wagons' Steel team. I mean, most of us are. And so we don't notice it as much, but boy, you want to exasperate a hangover? Oh my God, that noise could just make you feel like you're going to lose your damn mind if you're not feeling all that well, especially hangover style, you know, like noises and all that. So, yikes. Just a side note, generators are another one of those things that you sometimes find in an old RV. So if you're really on your A game and you found yourself the right RV and they're out there, and a lot of times they're free because they're just clogging up somebody's yard or driveway, and they've got a house and it's there, whatever reason, there's a lot of RVs out there that nobody wants. And you start digging around in them and you'll find, first off, a big block engine, frequently a 413 industrial engine, which is what we use for our max wedge engine program, or a 440, or if you're a Chevy guy, you'll find a 454. They used to put a lot of 350s in them, and 350 is not a big enough engine in general. An old school 350 is not quite enough engine for a real RV, especially if you're towing anything. And in typical half-assed fashion, the way RV builders would deal with this is they would put the best 350 you could get in it. So the 350 will have 4-bolt mains, which means the crank is secured with 4 bolts instead of 2, which makes it much stronger. And if you're going to put a 350 engine in a Nova or a Vega or a Malibu or a Camaro, and you want to wing up to 7,500 RPMs and pop the clutch or let off the brake, or however you like to launch your car and try and blow your engine up, a 4-bolt main engine is a good one. So even you small block Chevy guys, just keep an eye on those RVs. You never know what you're going to find in there. And the other piece, more apropos to this video, a lot of them have decent quality, usually noisy but well muffled generators in them. Yesterday my generator died. Well, the starter and the generator died. It ran out of gas while I was out doing other things. I got a call from my son who said, "Dad, the generator's out of gas." You gotta love the boy turning into a man or the girl turning into a woman phase, because they're almost getting it. It's like, well, don't you think maybe you should go to the gas station and buy some gas? Yeah, do that. And then, my wife calls and says, well, where do I put the gas in the generator? Which is, I guess she hasn't done it before. So I talked her through putting the gas in the generator. And they put the gas in the generator, and then it wanted to start, but then it wouldn't start. And, I just couldn't understand what they were saying. So I came back and looked and checked it out, and the starter's dead. God, what next? Don't answer, I don't want to know. So now we got to figure out how to fix the starter on the generator. But in the meantime, we just had a dark night. I do have power in my shop, so we can charge all of our appliances. It's just amazing how much we come to rely on stuff like power. But, like our phones all need to be charged, and, the cable and the internet, and then there's the basic stuff. I changed my t-shirt today. I'm on day 3.5 or 4 without a shower, and it's making me a bit cranky and a bit ripe. Like my partner said, hey, social distancing rules are in effect. So hopefully they'll get this fixed today. All the hard stuff looks done. I mean, you can see earlier in the video, these poles were shattered. Everything was on the ground. It was one lane. It was really hard to get up and down the road. So, hopefully they'll have it fixed for us. They didn't show up early this morning like they did yesterday, but you can see down the road, there's one flagger there and one flagger there. Said it before, I'll say it again. That's got to be one of the worst jobs on the planet. How much waiting can you do? You got to wait around for the crew to show up, so you can spend the day waiting on the side of the road telling people to slow down or stop. I hope they don't drug test these people. You want to be stoned to the bone all day long. I just have to remind myself, having power outages for days at end, not necessarily every year, but every year or two, it's the price we pay for living in a place where you can have a yard full of cool cars, and the neighbors are hundreds of feet away. I don't have to lock the door if I don't want to. If you ever want to borrow my car, I appreciate it if you let me know, but the keys are in the ignition, because that's the easiest place to not lose them. It's a beautiful morning, fresh, clean air. If I was in Seattle or New York City or Oakland and the power was out for 3 days, we'd be standing in our doorways with shotguns and fire extinguishers at the ready, and you know, just pondering the complete collapse of humanity. But here it's just, we don't smell as good, and got to cook on a camping cook stove out back, but we got it pretty ding dong good. Well, take it easy. Enjoy your hot shower on me, and I'm sure the power will be back on later, and I'll be able to post this video. Take care.